Gabriel?
What? Can't see.
Gabriel, get in.
Can't. It's too small for me.
You must get in, Gabriel.
It's not mine. Too small.
Hide, Gabriel, hide.
Was ist mit seinem Vater passiert?
Help!
Young man, the lecture is over.
Ups.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Na, dann reden wir doch mal mit Professor Hartridge.
Are you a student?
No. My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Well, you've already interrupted and slept through my lecture, Mr. Knight. I hope you have something worthwhile to do here. If you figure it out, let me know.
Was wissen Sie denn über die Voodoo-Morde?
What do you know about the Voodoo murders?
I've read about them in the papers. I must admit to some interest. But according to the newspapers, the voodoo aspect is faked, so I haven't really pursued it. You know how Americans, especially Hollywood, treat voodoo. I'm sure there are many so-called practitioners out there that have no idea what they're doing or the power they're playing with.
So. Ja, guck mal, wie der auch aussieht. Der sieht aus, als würde er mal eine Steuer machen. So, und Voodoo im Allgemeinen?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
You already sat through my lecture on the subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next time you could stay awake and learn something.
Ja, okay, das stimmt natürlich. Und was mit New Orleans?
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I find it interesting to see the occasional fragment of voodoo practices in the everyday culture of New Orleans.
Okay, und weiter?
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
The Catholic Church has always dominated in New Orleans, and its imagery, in turn, has dominated New Orleans voodoo.
Und weiter?
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
If there's more you wish to know, perhaps you should read my books.
Ja, er will nur seine Bücher verkaufen. Was ist mit den mit Cabrit Sancourt?
Do you know what Cabrit Sancourt means?
Cabrit Sancourt? Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe. It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
Ziege
As in
ohne
a
Höhen.
female goat?
No, as in a human sacrifice. Sacrifices in voodoo are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, bulls, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, it means a human being.
Ein Menschenopfer also. Okay. Und was haben Schlangen damit zu tun?
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm not a zoologist, Mr. Knight, but I know all I care to about reptiles.
Und was ist mit St. John's Eve?
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's June 23rd, the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But June 23rd has been a sacred day since the earliest times. Ancient sun worshippers used to roll a flaming wheel down a hill to celebrate the sun's descent on that day.
A burning wheel. Huh.
Und was mit Marie Laveau?
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
While I find the colloquial bastardizations of voodoo somewhat interesting, from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation between people like Laveau and true voodoo practices.
Und Tiermasken?
Do you know anything about animal masks?
As I said in my lecture, which I assume you actually listened to, is that animal masks, totems, are used extensively in most African voodoo religions.
Was ist denn Wewe?
Do you know anything about veves?
If you'd taken notes during my lecture, you wouldn't have to ask.
Ja, solche Professoren kenne ich auch. Was ist denn ein Damballa?
Tell me about Damballa.
Damballa is one of the major Rada Loa, also known as Damballa Wado. He is an ancient Dahomean rain god, often represented as a large boa constrictor.
Okay.
Damballa is the most powerful and most violent of the Rada Loa. The Rada Loa are typically benevolent, as opposed, say, to the Patrol Loa. He is still worshipped heavily in Haiti, and when voodoo first started in New Orleans, the early conclaves were reportedly based on the worship of the great zombie, the great serpent Damballa.
Und Ogun Badagris?
Tell me about Ogun Badagri.
Badagri.
Ogun Badagri is one of the Patroloa. The Patroloa are much more violent than the Radaloa. Some people believe the Patroloa originated in Haiti, but I have found some evidence that the Patroloa were African as well, though worshipped only by a small voodoo tribe, and a very bloody one.
Okay, und weiter?
Tell me more about Ogun Badagri.
He is a chief nasty, Mr. Knight. He is the spirit of war and destruction.
Und weiteres über Damballa?
Tell me more about Damballa.
I have extensive courses in the Loa running next semester. Perhaps you should take one of those, Mr. Knight.
Dafür habe ich leider nicht die Zeit. Mehr über das Menschenopfer würde ich gerne erfahren.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible, if that's what the gods demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this. Mistress Ezuli, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it. If a bull will suffice, behold it. But if a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Ezuli is the gentlest of Loa, so they call on her for mercy. But I have seen grown and powerful Houngan tremble before a possession by one of the more violent Loa, such as Papa Nebo. Clearly, they are afraid that something of the sort will be ordered, or that Loa will simply take it for themselves.
Okay. Aber werden die wirklich durchgeführt noch?
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
I wouldn't dwell on it. Most voodoo sects probably haven't seen a human sacrifice for several generations.
Erzählen Sie mal mehr über sich selbst.
Tell me about yourself.
All right, Mr. Knight. I'm 35, a fully tenured professor at this university, as well as a fellow at Cambridge. My doctorate was obtained at Syracuse. Yes, Syracuse, in religious studies. I'm an agnostic, but I find human belief systems fascinating. I specialize in African religions because I grew up there. My father was a Protestant missionary. And I am heterosexual, when I practice sex at all, which isn't very often. Any other questions?
Ja, vielen Dank.
Oh, no.
Ja.
Fine.
Oder vielleicht doch?
I'd really like to know more about you.
There have been several articles written about me, Mr. Knight, as well as blurbs on my book jackets. If you want a biography, read.
Gut, gut. Und worüber können wir noch reden?
Your lecture was terrific.
Oh, you think so? You were snoring so loud, I didn't think you'd heard it.
You must travel a lot.
Yes, to Africa mainly.
I'm very interested in voodoo myself right now.
How nice for you.
Ja, dann war jetzt zum Schluss... Oh, guck mal hier. Ein Büchlein? Nö, haben wir nichts mehr. Mülleimer, Hörsaal, Lautsprecher. Ausgang zur Karte. Das Podium.
Gabriel isn't in the mood to give a lecture.
Na, das ist vielleicht gar nicht mal so
A
verkehrt.
projection screen dominates the front of the hall.
Okay, was mit den Lautsprechern?
There's a PA speaker on the wall. The door to Hartridge's office is locked.
Schade. Sonst können wir hier nichts mehr machen. Dann gehen wir erstmal wieder raus.
Oh, do keep in touch.
Auf jeden Fall. Da ist die Gede-Villa. Dann fahren wir mal ins Franzosenviertel und gucken uns mal hier um. Der Dixieland Drugstore. Der Saint-Louis Friedhofen. Ich habe das Gefühl... Wir gehen nochmal ins Voodoo-Museum.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Ach nee, warte.
Goodbye, Dr. John.
Mr. Knight.
Wir müssen ja hier nochmal zum Jackson Square. Weil der Typ hat bestimmt unsere Zeichnung fertig. Das wäre auf jeden Fall nicht schlecht. So. Mal gucken, was der sagt.
How's it going today?
What? Oh, it's only you. Man, I have been jumpy all day. That pattern of yours really freaked me out for some reason. There's just something creepy.
You finished it?
Yeah, and you're welcome to it. Here.
Wow. This is great.
Uh-huh, yeah, just don't, like, blow up the planet with it or something, okay?
I didn't mean to upset you.
Ah, forget it. I'm probably just being stupid. Do your thing with it, and, good luck.
Okay, aber warum ist er denn da so?
The reconstructed Veve was done for Gabriel by a technical artist.
Professor Hartridge weiß doch bestimmt, was man damit machen kann. Beziehungsweise, was das ist. Und genau den werden wir jetzt fragen. Mal schauen, was er sagt. Wenn überhaupt irgendwas.
Can you tell me anything about this?
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Mind if I copy this?
Be my guest.
Great. I'll be right back.
Das Ding kriegen wir doch nie wieder. Achso, na gut, doch.
Here you go. You know, this is a fascinating Veve. You must tell me all about its origin.
Actually, I was hoping you'd tell me. Can you figure out anything about it from the symbols?
Well, some. That's why I wanted a copy. I want to research the design myself.
Have you heard of the Voodoo murders?
No, you're kidding. Really? Then the voodoo is authentic. The newspapers are wrong. Boy, are they wrong.
You think this Veve is authentic?
Authentic? Mr. Knight, that's like asking if the Mona Lisa is a painting. Tell you what, I'll look into these symbols myself and see what I can learn about the sect that made this. I'll give you a call when I have more information. You are associated with the police, aren't you?
Absolutely. But I'm undercover. You can contact me at St. George's Bookshop in the quarter.
All right. Now, I'd like to get started on this, if you don't mind.
Auf jeden Fall. Ist die Tür immer noch zu?
Hartridge's
Na,
office is locked.
schade.
I'll be going.
Oh, do keep in touch.
So, damit haben wir das auch schon mal. So, was sagt denn,
Gabriel looks fondly at his father's sketchbook and charcoal pencil.
Ja, das meine ich aber nicht. Ach so, Madame Moonbeam.
A flyer advertising Magenta Moonbeam, a local voodoo-ien.
Aber
The
der,
parlor is on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine.
aber der Laden macht erst am 22. auf. Einen Tag vor St. John's Eve. Okay, nee, das meine ich nicht. Das Ding wollte ich eigentlich haben. Tagebuch. Er hat gelungen ergänzt. Okay. Ich muss das aufklären. Das haben wir schon gemacht. Caprice Honcore bedeutet Ziege ohne Hörner. Schönen Gruß an den Peacemaker. Eine Ritualpeitsche. Quetkasch. So, unter dem Motto. So, okay, was haben wir hier? Achso, was muss ich an Tag 3 erledigen? Nee, da ist St. George's Buchladen. Da fahren wir jetzt einmal kurz hin und gucken mal, ob vielleicht... Genau.
Oh boy, party time.
Vielleicht können wir sie ja beauftragen, was zu recherchieren.
What's up?
Was weißt du über Ogun Badagri?
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
Ooh, no. Makes my skin crawl though.
Und Vivi?
Do you know anything about Veves?
Not a clue. Sorry.
Ritual patterns used in voodoo.
Fascinating. I can't help you out though.
Okay, und Marie Laveau?